All right, so yesterday I was trying to figure out how I wanted to attach these side panels. So once the aquarium is set in place, then these side panels will go on. So that one's already elevated. But these side panels, just for ease of putting the aquarium down, they couldn't be in place permanently. So what I decided, and I was thinking dowels, but what I actually decided is I actually already had these small little neodymium magnets. And what I'm gonna do, and what I did, was I drilled a 25/64 hole very carefully, 3 of them right there, so that I can recess these magnets down in there. So then, all I have to do, I'm not gonna push them in there now because it's kind of a pain to get them out of there, but I'm gonna put a little epoxy in each one, and I'm gonna push this magnet down in there so it's flush. And then, right there, I will be putting another magnet up in there, and these will all push in there. So then, I'll have a magnet here, and I'll have a magnet here, so that all I have to do is just click, and that thing will come down into place. Granted, there is going to be a line. There's no way around that, but at least it'll give me the ability to clip those into place. Now, this is all gonna be painted. It's gonna be brown, it's gonna look much better. And then I can just take them off, snap them back into place. So that's what I have decided on. And today I'm going to start priming this. So stay tuned. All right, so I just got done cutting out the doors and then the frames basically that'll mount to the doors. So basically it'll look like this. The nice thing is too, is because I'm doing the barn doors, this is 22 wide. So each door is 22 wide, and then this center panel is 22. So everything will be very uniform, and you'll be able to slide open the barn doors and access one side at a time. So if you need to get in this side, slide them over. You need to get in that side, slide them over. But basically this will all go like this. So like that, and then the barn doors are gonna mount, basically, one of the brackets will mount here, one will mount right here, and then I'll end up, figuring out what I wanna do for a small little handle or whatever. But it's coming together, and the barn door kit should be here tomorrow, or actually no, today, but it'll be a while before I put it on because I have to prime this whole thing, and yeah, so once it's primed and painted and all that, then I'll be able to put the barn doors on, and then it'll be ready for the big 180 right there. So, all right, so I've got it all primed, and now it's all spackled as well. So all of the finish nail holes, any imperfection in the plywood, all of the seams. So the seams, of course, I put it on a little thicker. It's supposed to be shrink-free, but it's never always shrink-free. So if it shrinks a little, I'll still have something to sand off. Spackle sand's really easy though, compared to like putty, wood putty, things like that. So I just basically went around and I did all the seams, and basically it's just gonna kind of smooth it all out so you don't see a defined big ridge and line where the plywood butts up to the 2x4 stud, or in that case 2x6 stud. So it'll look nice when it's done. I'm not trying to have it be absolutely just pinpoint perfect, but it should look pretty decent when it's done. So, and then so there's this side too as well. This side I haven't done anything with because I'm gonna be putting a back on this, really thin. It's like a dark brown hardboard, it's called, and it just goes across the back. And I'll put some cutouts for some tubing and plugs and things. These are the ones that are gonna plop right down in there. So on all of the ends, I spackled everything. So on any end that's gonna be either sticking up, it's all spackled. This whole top edge is spackled as well. So when you sand it nice and smooth and then you paint it, it's not gonna even look like plywood. You won't be able to see those like defined 3 lines in the plywood. So there it is for now, and I will revisit this video after I've sanded it all, and we'll take another look. Well, unfortunately, a problem has arisen, and it's not great. So that right there is delamination of the plywood. And I'm guessing it happened after I primed it. The wet primer just basically lifted the laminate, which is what plywood is. It lifted it up. And now I have 4 little bubbles right here. And they couldn't, of course, be on like the bottom back corner. They had to be right here in the front. So the spackle is sanded, and I'm left with this. So I tried to spackle over it and smooth it out, and I can still feel it, so it's gonna be there. My only option is to basically pop these little bubbles and try and glue them shut, or, you know, cut them out, and I don't know, it's not a good situation. So I have to decide what I wanna do here. So I will revisit the video when I get to that point, but all of the doors are primed there. And then I'm gonna do the surrounds on the doors white. And I'm also gonna be, of course, doing the white on the bottom shelf and then on the top as well. So that's where I'm at right now. Kind of a little roadblock here. Well, I cut this out. So this is what it looks like when you cut a piece out of plywood, and this was not even glued down. Like basically I just cut this with a knife, and this basically just peeled right out of there. So unfortunately, I've got this big hole there right on the front of the turtle tank stand. So I have to attempt to fix that, so we'll see. All right, so I patched that hole that I had to cut out. So it's spackled, and I'm gonna let it dry overnight. I'm not gonna try and mess with it anytime soon. So it'll have a whole night's to dry. And then in the meantime, I also did the extremely tedious job of spackling around all 4 corners of those 4 pieces and all 4 corners of those 4 pieces. What those are going to be, so these are the doors up here. These are the doors that are gonna slide across. And on each one of these doors, I need to be able to screw the plates in for the barn doors, and then also a handle assembly and everything. So 1/2-inch plywood is too thin. So I'm gonna basically do kind of like a square frame around the perimeter of each one of these, and that'll be 1 inch thick around the edges. Then I'll be able to screw into that, and plus it will kind of give it a little bit more visual appeal. And I'm basically doing that in a contrasting white. So those are primed white, these are primed white, and I went around and spackled the edges of the plywood. So when they're hanging on the doors, and of course the doors themselves have been done, so you don't see the lines on the plywood. So it takes forever, it's tedious, but I think it'll be cool when it's done. So I'm hoping that this turns out, so we will see. All right, so the patch seems to be pretty good. It's sanded smooth, there's no issues. So you can see that square, but the spackle is perfectly covering it, so it's smooth. So once it's primed, shouldn't probably see that again. And then definitely when I put the final top coat, you should not see that. So I'm gonna do a prime coat right now. All right, so I sanded all the spackling, and then I recoated, reprimed everything. And this is what I'm looking at right now. So it is looking pretty good. You know, obviously all the nail holes are completely gone. A couple seams can be seen a little bit, but again, there's no top coat on there yet. But that one spot that I cut out, so you can still see it right now through that coat of prime, I had to sand it a little bit. it kind of lifted up with some just tiny micro bubbles. So I think there was something on the plywood under here that is causing like a little bit of a reaction, but it is nearly gone. You know, another coat of primer and you probably wouldn't see it anymore, but there's just a slight roughness to it in this one spot. So I'm gonna skim coat a spackle on there again, just on that one spot. And then I'll give that another night to dry and then resand it, and it should be ready to prime that spot. And then it should be ready to put a top coat on, but that is where I'm at right now. All right, so that spot has been repaired. Primed over it this morning and it is good. So it'll only even get better once the final top coat goes on. This is kind of a little quick mock-up of the doors. That's what they're gonna look like. They've been primed. They haven't been painted yet, but a couple of them were just slightly not laying flat. So I'm just gonna keep this on there for until tomorrow, and they'll be totally flattened out. This one's flattened out already. So that's basically what they're gonna look like. And then of course, let's say this is the top. The arms, the wheel arms for the barn doors will be coming down off of here, and there's going to be some sort of knob or handle on there as well. So it is definitely coming along, and I will update this when there's a top coat on there. Oh, and then I'll have to work on doing the white on the shelves and the top. But yeah, it's coming along. All right, so the stand is pretty much done. I just have to fit the magnets into the edges up here and then just do the doors and put the door kit on, put the barn door kit on, but the actual stand itself is done. Top coat, 2 top coats on the stand itself, and then I just did the 1 top coat on the shelves and on the top. So let's see. Oh yeah, so it's gonna turn out nice. I'll do a video when the barn door kit is all on. So here's a quick little look at the turtle tank stand. It is pretty much done. There you get that. Doors are right here. Still got to do a little bit of stuff to those. And there's the barn door kit. I'll put that on tomorrow. And then here is what I decided for the sides. So if I would have kept it high around all the sides, I wouldn't have been able to put the tank down in there. So this way, I did recessed magnets like that. So then this will just snap into place and I'll have an edge right there. But I epoxied these in, so I'm not gonna try until tomorrow. So. Okay, so I am getting pretty close at this point. I have the doors, all the white trim is on there. Type-on wood glue, and it's all clamped. I'm just gonna leave it clamped overnight. And then the stand is completely done. I also have the recessed magnets in for the sides. They're epoxied in as well, so I haven't even tried them out yet, but they should work fine. Of course, I'm going to see a line where they clamp down. I'm going to see a line there, but it's fine. So basically, this just allows the tank to be put on, much easier, rather than if I kept it, if I built it in this fashion, it'd be nearly impossible because I don't have room to slide the tank in from the backside because it's gonna be up against that wall. So this is the way I did it, so it should work good. But yeah, so basically what I have is neodymium magnets, and they are recessed in, so it should work pretty well. Same with this one here. So there's that. Stand turned out really nice. The top coat is really, really nice. I mean, this is really good paint. So it's like a really good epoxy paint. It's really nice. So it turned out really well. I like the way the stand turned out. Here are the doors, right there. And then last but not least, that right there is the barn door kit. So I will revisit this video when I have that all together. All right, so here is the current update. The stand is pretty much done, and this right here is going to be the back panel. And it's kind of cool, I found the white because the whole inside's white, so it just kind of brightens it up in there. I don't know if I'm gonna put a light in there. I may add a little LED in there. I don't have any lights in my other turtle stands, and it is kind of dark at times, so I may add one, but with this white interior, I may not need to, so I'll see. Anyway, I just got done cutting a couple access holes in the back here for, you know, plumbing up the filter and wires and whatnot. I did one on either side just because it's 6 feet long, and I haven't decided yet exactly where I'm gonna route everything. Plus I have access on both sides. Not to mention, these will also serve as handholds where you can grab the door there, the door frame, and then on the back side you'll be able to put your hand in there, so it'll help in moving that thing around. So that is the update right now. All right, so update time. So the magnetic edges, they did work out pretty well. I'm sort of perfectionist, not exactly, but close. And you know, they're not perfect for me, but they work good. This is pretty much what I knew it was gonna be. I mean, there's gonna be a line, there's just no way around it. So basically what you do, like that, and then you come in here like this, and they just kind of go right on there. So they do work as intended. So that's what it looks like. I also went in and ran a bead of caulk all through all the bottom edge there. So I got that there. There's that side there. So I'll clean it up a little bit, and then a little bit of water gets in there or whatever. You can easily just wipe it out. I basically ran a bead of caulk on the front edge here. I gotta basically call it, and I'm not gonna run it along the inside just because it's just, I mean, when does it end? I'm not gonna do that. So I did the front faces and then the ends here. And then I have to, of course, paint it now. Same with this one. Ran it along the seams here, and then I'm gonna paint it. If I was to do it on the inside here, it would, you know, come out a little bit on the front face, and then I'd have to do a lot of cleaning, and I'm just not gonna do that. I like the way it's turning out now, so I am now gonna do the barn door, and then this will be done. So last video will be of the final finished product. Well, it doesn't always go smoothly. So what is that, you asked? Well, that's a broken drill bit. What happened was, because that center vertical post has a lot of screws around here, this bit, which is a wood bit, caught the edge of one of those screws and snapped that bit. And so basically, here it looks like I'm drilling it for the rail. So I have to measure this whole rail here and drill the holes exactly where this rail is gonna go. And now I have to pull that thing out of there, put a metal bit on, drill out that screw, and hope that that one holds, and then move on this way. I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with this one or this one, but I may have an issue with this over here, so we'll see. All right, so I used a metal drill bit, tried to drill that out, but it was dead center on the screw, and it's just not worth it. So my second option, which is what I'm going to do, and these right here, these three here, drilled out fine. Those three are fine. It's just the center one. So honestly, I really don't even need this one. It's not like I'm holding hundreds of pounds. I'm holding two small doors. So I wouldn't even really need that, but just for aesthetic purposes, I went ahead and I cut the end of the leg bolt off. So I'm gonna put a little bit of epoxy on the end of that, and I'm just gonna drive it in as far as it goes until it hits the screw back there. And I'll never have an issue with this. So here it is so far. Just got half a track to go, and we're almost done. All right, so I am really happy with the way this turned out. So it is completely done. There it is right there. So here we go. So you have the knobs here. Rolls nice. Perfect right there. Goes to that side there. Opens that one up. And that one comes over here. And there it is. So, turned out really nice. Magnetic sides right there. There's the bottom of that. This comes in here like this. And there it is.